If you're already drawing Social Security or planning to file soon, what I'm about to explain may directly influence your monthly benefit starting April 9th, and the surprising part is that most people still haven't heard anything about it. While millions of retirees depend on these payments to cover basics like food, housing, and medical costs, a new rule is being rolled out quietly that could affect the way payments are processed, who has to go through certain checks or adjustments, and even how fast money reaches your account. I know that hearing phrases like new rule tied to something you've worked your whole life to earn can feel stressful, but stay with me because I'm going to walk you through this in straightforward language so you understand what's changing and what you can do next, since this isn't just a tiny tweak for everyone. Some people could see delays, small changes, or unexpected issues if they're not ready. Take a deep breath, stick with me, and we'll unpack it step by step so you can feel calm and prepared before April 9th arrives. Let's talk about what's really happening. When people hear that Social Security is changing, it often sounds complicated or even a bit scary. But the program itself is supposed to be a stabilizing force, a way to give you some security after many years of work. So it's completely natural to feel unsettled when new rules show up. What matters to understand is that these shifts don't just appear out of nowhere. They're usually part of ongoing efforts to respond to the economy, update internal procedures, or apply new policies aimed at making the system run more smoothly. The problem is that what looks efficient on paper doesn't always feel that way when it touches your monthly deposit. The rule taking effect on April 9th is expected to influence how certain payments are processed and how eligibility or verification steps are carried out for some recipients. For many seniors who've been receiving their benefits without a hitch for years, even a small procedural adjustment can feel like a major disruption. Imagine this. You've structured your month around your Social Security deposit, you know roughly when it shows up, and you've arranged your bills, grocery trips, and maybe a small treat or gift for family around that schedule. Then you start hearing about a change. Maybe processing timelines are slightly different, maybe there are updated requirements, or maybe there are added checks happening in the background. Even if your benefit amount doesn't change, that sense of predictability can feel shaken. That's why we're talking now, because the worst situation to be in is one where you don't know anything is coming. When you have a clear idea of what's going on, you're back in the driver's seat. You can plan, you can make small adjustments, and you can avoid a lot of unnecessary tension. Let's slow this down and look at what this might mean day to day. For some people, timing will be the main worry. Will the payment land exactly when you expect it? If there are any delays, even short ones, they can ripple out. A late deposit might lead to a late bill payment, and that might bring fees or hassles you don't need. For others, the bigger concern will be eligibility checks or information verification. When new rules are introduced, agencies sometimes refine how they review your details. That doesn't automatically mean you'll lose benefits, but it can mean you need to be sure your information is accurate. Something as simple as an old mailing address or outdated bank account can cause snags that are completely avoidable. Then there's the emotional side that doesn't get talked about enough. Financial steadiness is not just about numbers on a page, it's about feeling secure, knowing you can meet your needs without constantly worrying about the next change. So when a rule like this comes up, it doesn't just feel like a policy shift, it feels personal. The encouraging news is that most of the time, these changes are manageable if you keep yourself informed. That's the real lesson here. Being proactive makes a huge difference. Think of it as hearing that a storm is forecast for next week. You wouldn't panic, you'd make sure you have what you need, check that everything around the house is in good shape, and then you'd go about your life. This situation is similar. April 9th is not a date to fear, it's a date to be ready for. So what does ready actually look like? It starts with awareness, and just by watching this, you're already ahead of many people who don't know anything is changing. That alone puts you in a better position. Next comes organization. Knowing your usual payment dates, keeping your personal and banking information current, and paying attention to official letters or messages can make a big difference. Many problems people run into aren't because the entire system failed them, but because a small detail slipped through the cracks. I want to pause and say this clearly. If you ever feel uneasy about a change related to your benefits, Don't ignore that feeling. It's always better to double check than to assume everything is fine. A quick phone call, online check, or visit can protect you from bigger headaches later. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. When changes like this happen, they often spark a lot of talk and sometimes even fear. You might hear people say things like they're cutting benefits or something huge is going on. And while staying informed is important, it's just as important not to jump straight to the worst case idea. Not every change is harmful. Some are internal updates. Some are meant to improve processing over time. The key is to figure out what, if anything, applies to your particular situation because your circumstances are unique. That leads to something I really want you to remember. You are not helpless in all of this. You earned your benefits through years of work, and you absolutely have the right to understand how they're handled. Staying informed doesn't just help, it gives you more control. Consider a simple example. Two people both receive Social Security. One hears about the April 9th change and decides it probably doesn't matter, so they ignore it. The other spends a few minutes learning what's going on, checks that their information is up to date, and pays attention to any notices. When the change kicks in, the second person feels calm and prepared, while the first might feel confused or stressed if anything unexpected happens. The difference comes down to awareness and small actions, and it doesn't require a lot, just some attention and a decision to pay heed. To those of you feeling worried right now, maybe asking, what if this hits me in a bad way? That concern is completely valid, but remember that in most cases, changes do not instantly uproot everything. There are usually safeguards meant to keep payments flowing. Instead of letting your mind race through the worst possibilities, focus on what you can actually do. Stay informed, keep things organized, and ask for clarification anytime something doesn't make sense. As April 9th gets closer, you're likely to hear more discussion about this rule, and that's actually good. It means more people are becoming aware, but not everything you hear will be accurate or relevant to you, so lean on clear, trustworthy explanations, like the one we're having now. That's the purpose of this channel. Senior Money USA isn't just here to repeat headlines. It's here to give you clarity, to help you feel guided, informed, and supported as you navigate these updates. Before we close this part, I want to leave you with one thought. Change is part of life, even with something as central as Social Security, but change doesn't have to equal confusion. When you know what's happening and take small, sensible steps to prepare, you turn uncertainty into a sense of control. If this explanation has been useful, please subscribe to Senior Money USA and switch on notifications so you don't miss future updates that might affect your benefits. And if you know someone, a spouse, friend, or family member who relies on Social Security, share this video with them so they can stay ahead of any surprises. I'd also really like to hear from you in the comments. Do you feel ready for April 9th? Or do you still have questions? Your comments may help others who are thinking the exact same thing. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep informed, and remember that you deserve to feel secure about your income and your future. Before we fully finish today, I want to take a quieter moment because what we're talking about goes beyond dates and rules on a screen. It touches your daily routine and your peace of mind. If there's one main message I hope you carry with you, it's that you're not trying to figure this out by yourself. Many people across the country are in a similar position right now, hearing about changes, wondering what they mean, and feeling uncertain or even overwhelmed. And that reaction is completely understandable when your income is involved, especially income from something as important as Social Security. You've earned these benefits and you should feel confident about them. But here's an often missed point. Even when changes feel big and maybe intimidating, they don't have to knock you off your path. In fact, they can become a chance to pause, check in, and make sure everything is set up correctly. Think of it as taking care of a home you've lived in for many years. Most of the time, things work fine, but every now and then, something needs a small fix or a quick check to confirm it's still in good shape. That doesn't mean the house is failing, it just means you're paying attention. That's what you're doing now by watching, listening, and taking this seriously. I also want to gently remind you that being informed is not the same as being worried. Having information brings clarity and a sense of control, while worry usually grows from not knowing what's going on. The more clearly you understand the situation, the less room there is for that kind of anxiety to build. So if you felt uneasy about the April 9th rule, recognize that simply being aware of it and learning about it has already put you in a stronger spot. You're preparing ahead of time instead of scrambling later. And let's be honest, life has already sent you more than a few challenges over the years. You've adjusted, persevered, and kept going, and this is just one more moment where a bit of awareness and preparation will serve you well. I also want to talk briefly about confidence, not showy confidence, but the quiet kind that comes from understanding what's happening and knowing where you stand. That's really the heart of this channel's mission, to help you build that kind of steady confidence one video at a time so that when policy shifts occur, you're not left guessing in the dark. If you're still here at this point in the video, thank you. Your time and attention matter, and choosing to stay informed tells me something important about you. You care about your financial future and you're taking the right steps to protect it. Going forward, remember that you don't have to solve everything today or know every answer right away. What matters is that you're paying attention and are willing to act if it becomes necessary. That's more than enough. If new information comes out or anything changes further, you won't have to wander around looking for explanations. That's exactly why Senior Money USA is here, to keep things clear, simple, and free from extra noise. So my simple suggestion is this: stay calm, stay informed, and trust that you are fully capable of dealing with whatever comes next, because you are. Before you head out, I'd really appreciate it if you'd support the channel by subscribing and turning on notifications, not just because it helps us, but because it helps you stay one step ahead. And being even a step ahead can make a big difference in situations like this. If you found value here, consider sharing this with someone you care about, a friend, neighbor, or family member who relies on Social Security, because you never know who might be quietly worried and in need of a little clarity. And don't forget to leave a comment. Are you feeling prepared for April 9th, or do you still have questions or concerns? I do read them, and your questions often shape future videos that can benefit the entire community. This isn't just a channel, it's an ongoing conversation, and your voice is an important part of it. We'll wrap up here for today. Take a deep breath, look after yourself, and remember that you've handled changes before, and you can handle this one too. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay informed, and most importantly, stay confident about your future.